guys, today we are going to talk about produce and manufacture. Both mean to make something, but they don't feel the same. Let's look at the examples and really feel the nuance. Let's get started. So let's talk about produce first. Produce is broader and more flexible, and it is a big umbrella word used for food, result, ideas, energy, and the creative output. So when it comes to produce, how something is made is not the focus, but what comes out is the focus. So it can be natural or man-made. So for example, man-made output, creative work, ideas, result, music, content, and natural ones, solar energy and wind energy. So with produce, we mainly care about what comes out, not how it's produced. So there are some examples for produce. This factory produces organic food. So the focus here is on what comes out in the end. So in this sentence, what does this factory produce? Yes, organic food. So the product is organic food in this sentence, and we talked about earlier, produce is commonly used for food. So when you want to highlight the result or the output, produce is a natural choice. So, and produce in this sentence is a general action verb, and the subject, this factory is a third person singular. So the verb produce takes an S. And let's keep reading. The team produced great result. So when you use produce, abstract nouns like result, outcomes, or achievement can follow as the object. Now let's look at the subject team. So it looks plural, right? Because it refers to multiple people, but grammatically, team is a singular collective noun. She produces her own music. Creative things like music, movies, or content can also be object of produce. Again, she is a third person singular, so produce becomes produces. So remember that. So let's talk about own here. So own is used to add emphasis. It tells us that the music truly belongs to her. So she created it herself. So now we'll compare these two. She produces her music. She produces her own music. So when you say she produces her music, this simply means the music is hers, neutral, and no extra emotions. But when you say she produces her own music, this sounds stronger and more impressive. Yeah, so own is suggest independence, creativity, and she is not just performing someone else's music, she is making it herself. So native speakers often use own when they want to highlight independence, creativity, and originality, personal effort, and full control as well. So now let's talk about manufacture. So manufacture sounds more industrial and technical, and it's used for cars, electronics, machinery, and equipment. And now let's go a little deeper into the origin of the word manufacture, because sometimes it gets easier if you know the origin of words. So manu comes from Latin and it means hand. Facture comes from make. So the manufacture literally means to make by hand. So when we talk about cars, machines or electronics, we often imagine people assembling parts on production lines, working with their hands, even in modern factories, right? So that's why manufacture sounds more industrial and technical. So it's commonly used for cars, electronics, machinery, and equipment like we read earlier. Okay, so now let's look at some examples together. So the company manufactures car parts. These phones are manufactured in Korea. The firm manufactures medical equipment. So in all of these examples, people are assembling or building physical product, usually on production lines. So that's why manufacture is the right fit here. I guess you might be wondering if it's okay to switch these two words, like the company produces cars in Korea. Grammatically, it's okay, but you lose the factory or industrial vibe. Okay, so when we want to sound industrial or technical, native speakers strongly prefer manufacture. So it would be the company manufactures cars in Korea. Okay, so do you remember the key differences? Okay, do I remember? So produce, general, flexible, result-focused. Manufacture, industrial, technical, process-focused. So I have some quiz for you guys, and if you know the answers, drop them in the comment. Okay, that's it for today. So remember, both mean make, but the feeling is different. So if you have any confusing word pairs, drop them in the comment. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next videos. Bye!